Previously on this season of Sailing and Fun, we did some interior work on our new Heavenly Twins 27 catamaran. We spent some family time out on the water swimming, relaxing, cruising, and even wakeboarding. We did some sailing on the bay side of the Florida Keys and took a trip out to Long Key State Park. Click on the tab here to see some of that footage and our other fun videos. Thank you so much for watching. And don't forget to check us out on Vimeo, where we have early release videos with deleted scenes and uncensored footage. And on our Patreon page, patreon.com/sailing-and-fun, where we have a little more about our reef fitting and sailing adventures. Hey, oh my goodness, should we take him to a vet?
No, he just needs to rest.
Are you sure his wing's not broken or anything?
Yeah, he was trying to flap away.
He was?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Don't touch him?
No.
Hi, sweetheart. I'm so
kind of green
sorry.
feet.
Oh shit, okay.
We have a migration of seagulls. Hundreds are showing up every single day. Our neighbor's boat is having a bigger problem than ours. Can you hear the seagulls?
Can I hear the seagulls? Heard the seagulls for the last 2 hours.
What is up with that?
I like the seagulls, but this morning that was a pretty harsh alarm clock. It's really too loud. It's actually hurting my ears. Okay, so there's the catamaran mast. We're in a different spot since we returned from Florida. A couple more boats moved in here. Took our spot. Oh wow, look at over on the green. They like that nice flat. But our catamaran mast is apparently a sweet ride too. And the captain's over there on the catamaran now, scrubbing down the evidence of such. And then I'm gonna head over and work on the floors, do some templating and stuff. So we're in a different location now than we were. Well, we are back on the reef today, and unfortunately it is really overcast, but we decided to dive in anyway. The ebb and flow of the tides can stir up a lot of particles and silt in the water and can create a thick sediment. So unfortunately the visibility is not that great. Even this spotted eagle ray that has a wingspan of about 6 feet is hard to see, although he's still pretty impressive. If you're able to go during high or low tide, or what's called a slack tide, when the water is not moving quite as much, it'll be better for you. And also, of course, a stormy, rainy, or windy day is going to stir up the water a bit more. So if you can go on a clear day, or even a day or two after a storm, you'll have better visibility. Here's a nurse shark. He's pretty big and he's a little bit hard to see, but they usually are easy to identify because they have rounded heads and wide pectoral fins. They are usually not dangerous. They swim away from people, but there have been some attacks. None of them have been fatal, so you can usually relax a little bit around them. Here we are so focused on this turtle, and that combined with the poor visibility made us unaware that a shark was swimming right towards us. And we think this one was a gray reef shark, which are typically not as aggressive as a tiger shark or a bull shark or great white, you know, the big three. But they can become dangerous in open water and around spearfishing, and also when food is present. Here a few days later, the reef's a little prettier, a little brighter, so you can definitely see this shark that's swimming by to take a look, and his friend who swims by a little bit later. If you're on vacation and you have scheduled a snorkeling trip, pay attention closely to the weather. Try to go when there hasn't been a storm in the last couple of days. If you can go around noon when the sun is highest in the sky, the light will penetrate the water and reflect on the bottom of the reef, and it'll just sparkle. It'll be beautiful. If you can also go at low tide, that will enable you to be closest to the fish and the reef. Just, of course, be careful, don't touch anything. And by that we mean don't touch anything with your hands. Also be aware of your knees, your fins, and any floating apparatus that you may be wearing too. Just do not touch the reef. And lastly, ask the dive shop what the visibility is, the clarity of the water. They check that throughout the day, so they should be able to tell you. If you're diving from your boat, you are required to have a dive flag up. It has to be high enough to where you can see it on all sides, and it also needs to be unfurled even in wind. So they usually come with a little piece of metal or something to keep them that way. We didn't anchor here, although we could have, because it was outside of the no anchoring zones, so check for those around reefs. And of course, anchor only on the sand. This was so wild. We were just cruising along, and this cuttlefish, it's not a squid, it's a cuttlefish, and it inked us. It limits the vision of its predator and also creates a diversion so that it can get away, but it was really wild to see.
I just turned the camera off. Oh no, the camera's going. I didn't know the camera was on. Maybe I did get it. I'm gonna dive right here.
That was a good dive.
We were just cruising around from bright spot to bright spot and diving in and swimming around. Fortunately, we didn't know that we had a shark that had the same idea. He too was swimming from pool to pool, and I'm glad I didn't see him before I was doing all the jumping in. I might have been a little more nervous. On these kind of days, we feel crazy lucky. It's like we're on a glass bottom boat. You really don't even need to get in. You can see the fish just directly from the top of the boat. We were driving around and jumping in over and over again, but you're really not supposed to have your dive flag up unless someone is in the water. We have forgotten a couple of times, so be careful not to do that. like we're in Greece. They're so beautiful, but be careful to wear your water socks because there are tons of sea urchins hiding. And I did actually step on one and had about 15 spikes in my foot.
He's got a good hold.
Just trying to grab
Is he
something.
trying to scare me?
Put your hand down and he'll flick it. Put that between your fingers, his little foot.
Between my fingers?
Yeah, he'll grab onto it. He'll think it's like a ledge. He's trying to kick himself into the water. Okay, he's just
Okay.
going to go back
All
in.
right, buddy. Take care. You want me in the sand?
We love stopping at all these little islands, but one thing about it is we can't get close to a lot of them because of all the rocks, and we need enough water that we can anchor in securely, so it can be quite a long walk or swim to get back to the boat. But it's always worth it.
Are we going the right direction?
Absolutely.